Sunday, and it is cold outside.
Yeah, we know it's going to be cold up there too.
Right.
But so maybe this was preparation.
Right.
All right, well, we're gearing up for a Bears win.
It's Friday.
You've transformed.
Yeah, I did take.
For anyone who saw the tease.
And for the record, the heat did get fixed up here. It's actually colder in the studio downstairs.
It is?
Okay,
I mean, we gents generally have it easier because we're always in a full suit. We're in long sleeves.
Right.
So you guys have a better finger on the pulse of the well, you're a weather person, so
you've got a long sleeve shirt on and like a suit jacket and like these pants, and we're just like legs exposed.
But I run hot. Okay, I run hot generally. Like I sleep with the window cracked. I'm not kidding. Even last night I did.
No.
Yeah,
poor Maggie.
That's another story.
Oh.
However, we won't talk about that.
Oh, okay.
But Caitlin, is it really colder in here, or really warmer in here?
It's warmer in here than it was.
Okay.
But the air conditioning kicked on like a couple days ago up here in the studio. But the walk from downstairs to up here.
Yeah, that's serious.
That was brisk.
Here's what happens in our building when two doors on opposite ends of the building are open at the same time. Yeah. You know what happens.
You don't want that to happen.
That draft comes whipping through.
So we were just talking about our weekend plans. My family gets to meet Santa's brother this weekend.
Down in Northwest Indiana,
I guess
right?
I shouldn't give too many details because we haven't done it yet.
Oh.
You know?
Well, what's the expectation here?
Well, just holiday cheer. Yeah.
In Northwest, that's his most.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't realize it until we started going down that path.
Nice, Caitlin. She's like, no, I better backtrack.
Wait, let's reel this in because I don't really want, But what are you guys doing?
Listen. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Maggie and I generally do not co-sleep during the week because of my wake-up time. Okay, sleep is vital. Sorry. No, I gotta. So I get, but the upside of this is that I get to do what I want temperature-wise overnight, and yes. I cracked the window. Well, I cracked the window last night. I did.
Grady and I don't sleep in the same room either.
Okay.
I'm with the baby, and he gets to just live his best life. The baby is just wakes up through the night.
You know the nomenclature for this, right?
What?
It's called a sleep divorce. I know it sounds so harsh. We should actually have a sleep doctor on at some point. These are more and more common, actually. The reason that it just sounds.
It's not because we don't like our spouses.
No, not at all.
It's because when you sleep, we need serious sleep.
Serious sleep on this shift.
No disruptions, okay?
Exactly. When I have my whole routine. I shut the door. I turn on this, it's not a box fan, but it's really loud, so it doubles as a sound machine.
Sure.
And then regardless of whether the radiators are on, and our radiators really work. I mean. Oh. Yeah, we have we have old school 1900s, water, and they work. I mean, especially when it gets really cold out.
So yeah. Kids touching those things?
They don't get that hot, and it's one of those lessons you learn once.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You learn that lesson once.
Speaking of getting your routine down, can we speak to Maggie's sweet post about your sack lunch this morning? I was melting. She loves you so much. She posted, I'll just tell you guys.
Yeah, I also have another.
His little wifey posted, if you go to Instagram, you'll see the post, but she posted a picture, and it was a picture of like a sack lunch with like 2 apples and a banana or something, and she put on there like, Anthony went to bed and I saw this sack lunch, this sad breakfast that he packed for himself. And then she put a little sad face like, oh, poor thing.
Well, yeah, and the sack lunch, it was culinarily speaking not very visual. Yeah, because it was
satiating. Wasn't very satiating
it was 2 tangerines, a banana, and an apple.
Just a bunch of fruit.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fruit, which I eat during the course of the Good Day Chicago. You're on the desk for a lot of times. And then here's another follow-up to that. Maggie also posted a picture of the ramen noodles that Gabby brought me from Gangnam Market yesterday, and she said, some husbands bring back flowers, mine brings me back ramen. And so I had to clarify. Gabriela Primus gets full credit for that. I did not mean to take credit for that. I put them on the counter, and Maggie was super excited because she has spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia. Yeah. So she's experimented with some of these wild varieties of ramen.
Oh. And these were K-pop Demon
These are K-pop Demon Hunter ramen. And they're spicier, but I cannot wait to try them on a weekend like this, cold weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, thank you to Gabby
Yeah, thanks, Gabs.
Love Gabs.
Yeah.
Thank you to Gangnam Market for hosting her yesterday. The food court looked amazing. I can't wait to go
And
there.
the sauce, you got some good sauces.
I came away with the sauce.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
football this weekend too, by the way. You have
yes, two huge games. We got Indiana, Ohio State tomorrow. Number 1 versus number 2. I'm a Hoosier, by the way. And then on Sunday, equally big matchup, Bears. Packers. It's a huge football weekend in the Ponce household. Boy,
that's very exciting. Are you going to make some nachos?
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I'm so glad when these big games fall on weekends where it's cold, because it gives you an excuse to stay.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, today, if you guys want a little forecast before we have our first guest,
Matt Laricy,
I'll give you the rundown.
Yeah, let's hear it real quick.
Just real quick, because you're making your plans probably. Today is going to be quiet, dry, partly to mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the upper 20s. This afternoon, it feels like the teens, so it's still going to be cold. Tonight, if you're driving overnight tonight, there's a chance for a little bit of freezing drizzle. So watch out for untreated roads especially. It could get slick. Some snow, light snow, maybe up to a dusting possible in a few spots. Most of us are going to be dry tonight. Tomorrow, back to the upper 20s, so we're flirting with 30 tomorrow. But then tomorrow night into Sunday, we have snow, and that's when we could see accumulation of 1 to 2 inches, up to isolated spots of 3 inches of snow. So Saturday night through until about lunchtime on Sunday, we're going to have snow in Chicagoland, and then temperatures back to the upper 20s on Sunday.
Okay.
So you're right. It's
I'm
going to be
hoping
a winter-esque weekend.
it sticks, so that if the kids need to take a little break outside on Sunday, you can make some snowballs or roll some snowmen.
Yeah, we'll I just realized my water bottle is right here.
Yeah, that's okay. We have Matt Laricy on the line.
Yeah, hey, Matt.
Matt, happy Friday to you. Can you hear us okay?
I hear you guys great. Thanks for having me on here today.
Oh, you look great. I'm getting, it's giving Gordon Gecko right now. And that's a compliment, by the way.
I'll take it. We have a dress code. You gotta be in suits and ties at all times. I actually don't have any civvy clothes, so like regular clothes, I don't know. I sleep in suits.
Your reference went right over my head.
Oh, you got to see Wall Street.
Gecko.
Oh my gosh, you haven't seen Wall Street?
Amazing movie.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about real estate, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's reel it in. Let's see what people are wondering about in 2026. See if we can get the answers to the questions that everybody's burning about for 2026. But before we do that, let's take a look back at 2025, shall we? So can you give us a little recap of the real estate atmosphere, landscape, if you will, from the last year?
I mean, 25 is going to go down as one of the best years we've seen in Chicago. Chicago's kind of defying the rest of the markets, right? You're starting to see Florida and Texas and some of those other markets start to fall. You're starting to see a lot of price drops and things of that nature. But Chicago itself has really grown. Our prices are up. The luxury market is breaking records. I mean, just up in Winnetka, there was 32 and 34, I think it was, $1 million sales, right? So you're seeing a lot of people come back, and it just overall was just a very, very strong market, not only in sales but also in pricing.
Was there a price point that lagged behind in 25, like a certain type of home in a certain range where you're looking for those sales to improve in 26?
Not really. Like everything performed very, very well. I mean, your ultra luxury in the downtown sectors like really did bad, like above $1.5 million or something like that. But other than that, like everything in the market, everything performed very, very well. There were, like, inventory was the biggest problem in 25. Is there just wasn't enough of it, and it couldn't keep up with the demand. So if there's one thing we hope to improve on for next year, it's having enough inventory to meet the demand.
That's interesting. Okay, so speaking of those people who can't afford to buy a home, it's been out of reach this past year. Do you think this is going to be the case next year as well? Not because of demand, but because of interest rates and prices?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to see any price relief next year. I fully expect that pricing is going to go up substantially. I think in some areas we're going to see as much as a 5 to maybe even a 10% growth in some areas. Okay, and I do think interest rates are going to drop. Current administration is very bullish on getting those rates down, but they're not going to get down to like a 2 or 3%. Like those days are over. Could they get down to the low 6s, high 5s? I think it's very possible.
So your advice for somebody who's been waiting for the right opportunity, maybe for a couple of years. I actually have a family of really good friends, they have been kind of trying to figure out a single family home in like the 1 to 1.5 range for so long. And it's almost a combination of not the right house at not the right price, of course. But what do you think needs to happen interest rate wise in terms of their expectations? Do you think once it starts hovering around that flat 6%, that's a time where they should think, okay, we can pull the trigger and feel as good as we can about this rate?
Well, there's a lot of people like your friend that's out there, and the reality is they're just not mentally there to buy. That's just the reality. And, you know, a lot of people, it takes a long time to be able to pull that trigger. I mean, you're talking $1 million, $1.5 million. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they're going to see, you know, they're going to have to put a lot of money down. And for some people, it's hard to swallow with that. Okay. And they just can't mentally get over that hurdle. There's plenty of inventory in that $1 million, $1.5 million. And if, you know, people always make up reasons why they shouldn't buy or they can't buy, or it's the rates, or it's, you know, not enough inventory, or whatever it is. They'll always come up with excuses. But the reality is they're just not mentally there. The market's not going to get any better. You got to get into the market. You know, it's like the stock market. Like, you can't wait for it to drop. Like, you just got to get in, ride the wave when it's up, ride the wave when it's down. There's nothing on the horizon for Chicago land real estate that we're going to see a drop in the next 24 months. So, you know, the longer you wait, the higher the price is going to be. You know, there's an old saying, what's overpriced today is underpriced tomorrow. So, you know, the friends that waited for these 2 years, you know, they could have got that same price on that $1.5 million house they probably got for 1.3, you know, and could 10 years from now that go down to 1.1? It's possible. I mean, nobody can predict 10 years out, but like the reality is that like in the near future, the best time to get into the market is today. Okay. And the worst time is going to be, you know, 6 months from now. So you just got to jump in at some point.
It's good advice.
I mean, yeah, it's an interesting point because they say real estate costs, I mean, prices, they just continue to go up year after year. Is there any relief coming for those who are trying to save for a down payment and to buy a house that just can't do it? I mean, it sounds bleak.
No, there's not. I'd like to lie to you. It's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
You know, rates will drop a little bit, but just remember, the lower the rates get, the higher the prices are going to go. You know, but like people who think like that, though, I hate to say it, but they're just not real buyers, right? Because like when the rates go really low, then like, oh, prices went too high, right?
Yeah.
And then when the rates go really high, like, oh, the market's really tough. You know, or the economy is bad. It's like, well, if the economy is bad, the rate's going to drop. You can't have low rates in a good economy. That doesn't go well. Remember, the rates got to 2 to 3% because we were in a lockdown and the government was trying to spur people to get out of their houses and buy something so the economy stayed propped up. You know, do you want to go back in lockdown? Sure, we'll go to 2 to 3% rates. But like also remember when the rates are 2 or 3%, like you're getting $0 of interest in this in your savings account. So like real estate's directly tied to the stock markets, to the money, you know, the economy, all that other stuff. But like if the economy is doing really well, the housing market's doing really well. If the housing market crashes, the economy's going to crash, and then you're going to be too scared to buy anyways.
Let me ask you this before we let you go, Matt, on a Friday. If you're a developer, okay, I know tariffs play in as well. In terms of inventory, what is the situation with new builds, okay, to maybe increase inventory? What are the developers and builders doing, if anything, right now? Are they tackling or shooting for a certain price point? And what do you expect in terms of new builds in 2026? Are those coming online, or have tariffs messed that whole process up?
I mean, tariffs have almost had zero effect on building, okay? I think that's just a buzzword people use, or another excuse like we were talking about earlier of why some people may say they're not building. The biggest problem with building is just the bureaucracy of the red tape that the government puts on you, right? So like in Chicago, new builds are incredibly difficult because of all the restrictions that you have. It takes so long with the city, you know, to get your permits done. And by the time it's done with, like, you know, the cost of holding it just doesn't make any sense anymore. Or you have to build so much CHA housing in certain parts of the market. And so like that's why we don't see any newer high rises. You ever wonder, like, what, you know, you see all the cranes going up. They're like, well, of course we're building all these like high-end condo buildings. Like, they're not condo buildings, they're rentals, you know, because you can't build a new high-rise condo building because of the restrictions with, you know, low-income housing and all the stuff that Chicago throws on it. So the biggest restriction, and that's why the administration talks a lot of times, like, we got to remove the red tape. It's just the government bureaucracy of why people aren't building. That's the #1 reason why builders don't build.
Man.
And okay, so this was another thing. Speaking of new builds, builders offer incentives, or they have in the past. Do you think those incentives are still going to be there moving forward to kind of make up for the difference in these higher costs and the interest rates not budging much?
I mean, I hate to say it, but builders don't need to offer any incentives. They're going to sell them. Like, if I have a new build going on, like, I'm going to sell it before it even hits the market if I wanted to. Okay, now, I'm not a pocket listing guy. I like to go on the open market. I believe in transparencies. But, like, new builds are not difficult to sell. New builds are actually incredibly easy to sell. There's probably the highest demand is people want to buy something that's new.
All right, buyers going to have to be patient in 2026. That's my takeaway from this. Matt Laricy, as always, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thanks.
And go watch Wall Street, all right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Go watch
Wall Street.
Greed is good. That's where that phrase comes.
Is this
Greed
the
is
Wolf
good.
of Wall Street?
No,
I've
it's
seen
also
that
a great
one.
movie.
I saw that
The
one.
Wolf of Wall Street's like the sequel almost, you know? That's the way to look at it.
Got it.
Exactly. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Have a
All
good
right,
weekend,
thanks, guys.
sir.
Bye.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Chicago Now. When we come back, Paul, I hear the jingling.
know.
The jingling of a
The
leash. It's
puppies.
like, you know, sleigh bells. But we got a nice, I don't know, maybe it's a sleigh bell leash.
We'll see what kind
Some
of puppy we
cuteness
got.
coming up. PAWS
Doggo.
Chicago with a very important message if you were thinking of gifting a pet this holiday season. Stay with us.
We've got a celebrity in the house. Look at this sweet little baby. Oh, we've got PAWS and little Iris here. This is Amanda Ford. She's a volunteer with PAWS. So PAWS Chicago, they always have adoption events coming up, and today we're learning about what's coming in the next few weeks. But before we talk about that, let's talk about Iris.
The celebrity, right? It was not me, it was her that you were
Both of you
referring
guys.
to. No.
PAWS is the celebrity.
Yes, no. So Iris is about 3 months old. She joined the PAWS Chicago family through Chicago Animal Care and Control. They found her as a stray, and PAWS Chicago is one of their largest transfer partners. So last year we brought in about 2,000 animals from them, and we're on track to do that this year as well. So she's just, we don't know a whole lot about her story, but I do know she's very sweet. She's got a lot of puppy energy, and she is ready to find her family this holiday season.
She's got some silky little
Strays. So what is the typical backstory? Like, I don't see a lot of strays like here in the city limits.
Yeah.
Do they come from other parts of Illinois typically through Animal Care and Control, or is it all local?
Yeah, so Chicago Animal Care and Control is the only city establishment that you can take and surrender an animal. So PAWS Chicago works exclusively with them as well as other rescue partners. So you can't just stop by PAWS Chicago and surrender an animal there. You do have to go through Chicago Animal Care and Control. And right now we are seeing numbers higher than ever. We are continuing to support the organization to hopefully bring those numbers down, but obviously as more animals find their way into the facility, we see we see numbers that aren't so great in terms of euthanization and things like that. So that's why working with PAWS Chicago, other organizations in the city, is so important to make sure that we find as many homes as possible, so that, like you said, you don't see them on the street.
Sure.
Especially when it's this cold. That's just heartbreaking. Did Iris have any siblings?
We're not quite sure, yeah. So we always bring a good handful of cats and dogs over from Chicago Animal Care and Control. We are there every single day supporting them, not only just with transfers, but trying to prevent individuals from surrendering their pets. So sometimes that's just a matter of, needing a spay and neuter surgery. Maybe they need some assistance with food, things like that. The goal is to keep animals in their homes. So those like Iris that don't have one to begin with, we can help find them one. So we do more than just help with the transfer, but we're also there just to support the city of Chicago as well.
And in terms of, like having people not give up their pets as well, there's an important message.
That to be a last.
This holiday season as well. Before we get into that, what is the process when you take in someone like Iris from Animal Care and Control? What kinds of things are they treated at all in for health and shots and that kind of things? Like, run us through that.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually for PAWS Chicago, I would argue that's our specialty because we have the medical center in Little Village. It is a state-of-the-art facility. Hello, what are you doing?
Like, I'm shy.
She's like, this is boring.
Hide.
Talk about me. We're going to tell them all about your friends that you met when you joined us. So the medical center is where every single pet starts, and it's where they are evaluated. They'll get if they need a spay or neuter surgery, if they need any basic vaccines. So every single, whether they are healthy or whether they have issues, they will start at the medical center. And like I mentioned, it allows us to do things even across the country that some facilities can't do. We're able to do a lot of research, and we can provide a lot of support that you just need because we have so much support from our community. So you start there, and then once they are available, we do have a wide network of fosters. So sometimes they'll go into a foster home if there's not space at the adoption center, or maybe they need a little extra TLC if they're recovering from a surgery or they're a little shy. They might go to a foster home for that. And then as soon as there is space at the adoption center, they'll make their way over there so that they can meet our friends in the community that want to adopt.
So speaking of adopting, and Anthony kind of mentioned this, giving gifts as pets, which are family members. Can you kind of speak to that and the good rules to go by when about adopting and giving a pet to somebody else?
Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely don't want to deter the interest and the motivation, but we do like to remind individuals that pets are family. They aren't gifts. The intentions are great. So instead, consider maybe gifting the experience, because as we all know, you might have your eye on Iris, and then get there and either she's not available or a different cat, a different dog sparks your interest. So we actually recommend that they gift the experience, and then maybe go with that individual to the adoption center, sit with the cat, sit with the dog, see who's the best fit. So you're still able to gift them that, but it makes sure that it's a good fit for everybody involved. So definitely consider that instead.
Yeah, showing up with a big box with holes in it and there's a kitten inside. That can get some mixed reactions in the room.
And it's also a lifelong commitment. I think individuals underestimate, cats, dogs, puppies, they do live, assuming that they're healthy, they live for quite a while. And if you're interested in a short-term commitment, maybe consider fostering instead. But if you're looking to adopt, they are family members and they are a commitment that you need to be prepared for. And we would hate for somebody to get something they didn't ask for.
Right.
How does the experience option work, where you said you can gift the experience? Is there a fun or more ceremonial way to do this with some kind of gift card or something you can actually present to the person?
Yeah, so I've seen people get very creative. You can absolutely, maybe just print off a certificate, do something like that. You can also just gift the monetary amount. So we do tributes right now, which you can just say a certain amount and it goes in the honor of either the individual's name. Maybe they have, a pet that's no longer with them that they want to do it in their honor. You can do that as well. You maybe could offer just to go with them, because of course, if they are in your household, we would encourage you being part of that experience. But then just arrive to PAWS Chicago. You can always walk in, but appointments are encouraged just to make sure that you get, priority service. And then we do have a compatibility quiz that a lot of individuals know about. So if you head to pawschicago.org/adopt, there's this little quiz to fill out that gives us good insight to what your household looks like, what kind of pet you're looking for, so we can make sure to match you up. As you can see, she's got a lot of energy. So if you're not really looking for a pet that's going to need a lot of time and patience, we love Iris, but probably not the best fit for that type of household.
Right.
So it's just a way to make sure that everyone's a good match.
Iris is going to be pretty hands-on.
Oh,
She
yeah.
is, yeah. She'll be perfect for a lot of families, but equally there's some
she's
other
so
options.
cute.
She's such a puppy. Okay, so you have 2 events coming up. You have one at the Gorton Center today in the northern suburbs.
Tomorrow, actually.
Oh, it's
yes.
tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, and then a holiday adopt-a-thon on December 12th through the 14th. So let's
We
talk
do.
about the event tomorrow first.
Yep, so that's going to be for our suburb viewers. If you're in the north suburbs or feel like making a little venture out there, as we know, we support more than just right here in downtown Chicago. So this is a great opportunity to come meet some adoptable cats, dogs, puppies, you name it. It's going to be from 12 to 3, completely free to attend, even if you just want to come check us out. Normal adoption fees do apply, but we'll be there and you can just come mingle and meet everybody.
Nice.
Adoption fees, maybe that's a good, if people are looking to gift this experience, is that a common thing? Like, hey, we can cover I'm covering this is the idea. What do they range? I know that it kind of changes from time to time.
Right. So it varies. You know, for example, kittens, we do discount if you buy 2 because that's a lot easier to bring 2 into the home. It's better for everybody, so we encourage that. We go based off of age is usually what's going to drive it. So puppies, kittens are going to range. Puppies are around 500-ish depending on age, and then it can get as low as 100 or so if it's a more senior pet. But again, it just completely depends. It's a very fair, market value to consider.
Sure.
One of the things that I mentioned is when you adopt from PAWS Chicago, outside of that, you do get a starter food kit because of our partnerships. You also get a voucher for a training class because that's obviously important. It's, it's just like children. It's never too early to start training and educating them. So that comes in with that. And then those costs for adoption go right back to the adoption center so that we can help more irises. So
Nice.
yes.
Okay. So speaking of puppies versus middle age versus the seniors, maybe there's a family at home that's like, I don't know which one to go for. Is there a way that they could keep track of the dogs, the animals that you guys have at your facility currently? Like, do you guys update your Facebook often, or do you update your website, or where should people go?
So see all of the above. We do have both.
Okay.
So we do have the PAWS Chicago website that shows who's currently available. Like I mentioned, we do work with Chicago Animal Care and Control every single day. So we have hundreds at all times. Yes. So that's again why that compatibility quiz is so great, because if you provide that ahead of time, we can essentially scout ahead of time of here we think these might be the best fit for you.
Okay.
And then of course if you come and meet them and it's not a good fit, no worries. We've got lots to choose from. So I would say the combination of watching the website, doing a little bit of a self-audit yourself and knowing what you're looking for is going to help, and then stop on by the adoption center and just physically meet them because that's the best way.
Wonderful.
Do you, before we let you go, Amanda, do you ever see an uptick in people turning, after the holidays, an uptick in people turning them back in, people who maybe were gifted a pet? Is that a thing, or is it rare?
So yes and no. I think we got that question a lot post-COVID because people were home so much. So I think there's a theme there of when you're home more, it might seem like a better fit. I don't think that we necessarily see an uptick based off of, the seasonality. I think it's more about people maybe not being fully prepared for what they signed up for. I think that's where we see it, the gifting, things like that, or maybe thinking that you didn't need all of the time in the world to dedicate to the dog and it actually is more energy. So I think it goes back more to just making sure it's a good fit from the beginning. That leads to higher success rates with keeping them in the home.
Thank you so much for coming in with this very important message. Iris, I know she's
Look
going
at
to
Iris's
land
little leg.
somewhere
That's how
right
much
before
foxes.
Christmas.
Yes.
So cute.
All
Love the Fox viewers
We
here.
have to go to break, but if you are tuning in right now on our linear channel on Fox 32, we have some really big soccer news about to unfold. FIFA is about to unveil the draw for the 2026 World Cup, so stay tuned for that, or you can switch over to digital and continue on Chicago Now.
and all of our prosecutors have worked tirelessly for months, sifting through evidence that had been sitting at the FBI with the Biden administration for 4 long years. Let me be clear, there was no new tip, there was no new witness, just good, diligent police work and prosecutorial work, working as a team along with ATF, Capitol Police, Metropolitan Police Department, and of course, the FBI. We are working every day to restore the public's trust. We hope that today is a significant step towards that progress. We'll share more information when we can and when it unfolds. I cannot stress enough how hard Director Patel and Deputy Director Bongino have worked for months to make our nation's capital safer and to make our country safer. I'd like to introduce now Director Patel.
Thank you, General. When you attack American citizens, when you attack our institutions of legislation, when you attack our nation's capital, you attack the very being of our way of life. And this FBI and this Department of Justice stand here to tell you that we will always refute it and combat it. We will provide the safest country the nation has ever seen under President Trump's leadership here.
And that was the latest there, just a snippet of that press conference. But I did want to head over to a live look here as we are looking at the carpet here for the FIFA World Cup draw arrivals. And there we can see President Trump. I do want to turn up the sound here for just a moment and listen in.
Mr. President, Mr. President, have you been told that you are going to receive the inaugural Peace Prize today from FIFA?
I have not been told. There's a rumor about it, but I have not been told. That would be a great honor, and I'm a big fan of Johnny, as you know.
Are you hoping to receive that?
Excuse me?
Are you hoping to receive the Peace Prize?
Well, I don't like to say hope, but it would be a great honor.
What can fans expect of the World Cup here in the U.S.?
I think it's going to be fantastic. We've set every record you can set.
What are you telling people who are worried?
Johnny from Swiss TV, a word about him?
I think he has done a fantastic job.
Are you going to be meeting with the President of Mexico today and the Prime Minister of Canada as well? Will you be discussing immigration and trade with them?
What countries would you like America to face? You go first. You're blocking the ball.
Mr. President, what do you think about the crowd?
Congratulations. Star of television.
How you doing, Mr. President?
I'm doing very well.
What do you think about the crowd here?
I think the crowd is great, and I think the building is great. We've made a lot of improvements over the last 6 months. Taking Kennedy Center was in very bad shape. Now it's getting to be really good, and in 6 months it's going to be incredible. The improvements we've made.
First time for the U.S. to host since the 90s.
Right.
You ready for it?
I'm ready for it, and they're ready for it. And Johnny, you know, has done a fantastic job with FIFA. And we're looking to have, you know, we have already set records with ticket sales. I don't think there's ever been anything like it in any sport. And so I want to congratulate you. I don't even have to wait. But major records have been set. How are you?
Good. No, today is not football, American football. It's soccer. It's the big event.
That's right.
What can you tell me about it? Big day.
It's just a big day, and it's a great sport. And it really is coming to America, and nobody ever thought a thing like this could happen. And I'm very happy to say that we've already set the all-time record on ticket sales long before the first ball is kicked, right?
100%. You've had some concerns about crime in American cities, some of the cities that'll be hosting. Have they remedied that for you, or are you still considering maybe asking FIFA to move some of those cities?
No, I don't want to do that, but I will tell you if they do have a problem, by the time we get there, we'll take care of that problem. We can solve that problem. I've proven that in D.C. and everywhere else we went, so we'll take care of that very easily. So if they have a problem, hopefully they'll let us know that, and we will solve any problem. Okay? Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, so obviously a lot of
Do I keep Elise?
The Mexican president here as well. He's Prime Minister and
All right, so we were just listening in there to President Trump answering some questions from reporters. Now, what I want to do is just stay on this shot a moment longer. It does appear we can no longer hear the president as he's moving down the line, speaking to several media outlets. But I do want to see if our microphone is going to get a little closer to President Trump to see if we can listen in more. So let's continue to watch here.
You had some favorite lines. This is the first time in the U.S. Well, having a favorite is the USA. I don't know what the chances are, John. Maybe the USA is getting better and better, actually. They're getting better and better. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You hear the excitement from the president. You talked about the financial aspect of this. He said upwards of $30 billion would be pumped into the American economy. The president has said they've already sold 6 to 7 million tickets.
All right, so we can no longer hear President Trump, but he was just answering some questions there from several outlets on the red carpet as he is arriving here at the FIFA World Cup draw. Now, we also have this other vantage point that I wanted to share with you here. I'm unclear right now if we are going to be able to hear the president, but let's turn up the sound on this feed and see if we can.
Thank you. It's called Snow Fresh.
No, I'm just joking.
De novo, a gente conseguiu uma exclusiva aqui só. A gente conseguiu uma exclusiva. E aqui com o Donald Trump. E agora, Galvão, quem já passou de craque por aqui? Ronaldo, Cafu. Obrigado, Galvão.
The pool is set up at the end, and they're going to gag her.
Thank you so much.
How is it feeling to be part of this amazing event? And obviously you're being a big participating in all the
She's doing a very good job. She's a good woman. Very, very excellent job. It's an honor. And we're sending every round, and you're helping us set those records. Mexico and Canada are helping us set those records. But as you know, we have a record of ticket sales already long before the first ball is kicked. And we're going to do very
Going to somebody who is promoting world peace. So we've already seen how many wars he's ended since he came into office, and he says he's trying to end the big ones, as he describes it. Russia.
All right, so we can no longer hear President Trump, but we did want to bring those comments here to you as he's arriving at the FIFA World Cup draw there in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., as you are taking a live look there at the Capitol this morning. A very snowy day there in Washington, D.C. And if you give me one moment here, my producer, Carla, actually just said something to me that we may have another live feed for you. What was that, Carla?
potential watch party.
Okay, where would that be? Out of Philly. Okay, so what you just watched there is we get these feeds in pretty quickly here. This is live TV, and my producer, Carla, just told me we might be getting a watch party out of Philadelphia. And I'm just waiting for her to tell me where she's going to be putting that here on this panel of feeds. So once she does tell me that, I will bring it to you. Once again, we are going to have live hits there in just about an hour or so with several of our Fox affiliates at these different watch parties across the country, and we'll bring those to you as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to regroup here. We're going to step away for a break. We'll bring that to you on the other side. And thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. I do want to take you back to this live look here of President Trump as he has now arrived there on the carpet for the FIFA World Cup draw, which is set to kick off here in just about 15 minutes or so. And what I wanted to also share with you here, if you would like to watch that, you can watch that on Fox 1. So what you can do right now, open up the oh my goodness, open up the camera app on your smartphone and you can point it at the screen at that QR code. If you tap, it should take you to where you can watch this. Once again, this is all going to kick off at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes here. And what I wanted to do is just head back to this live look of President Trump. Now we understand, and we've been telling you that as President Trump has moved away from our cameras and our microphone, that you cannot hear the president that well. Still, though, we wanted to leave this up on your screen here. We are also looking for several feeds from our Fox affiliates of watch parties that are going on across the country, and we'll bring those to you as well. Once we do get them, we are currently working on that. So let's turn up the sound here and just listen into the sights and sounds. Let's see if we will be able to hear President Trump again. All right, so we cannot hear President Trump, but I do want to head over to our Fox 5 DC team. They are doing a live interview on this, and you can still see President Trump there on the carpet. So let's head over and listen in.
And Brazil.
Got to keep the viewers.
So it'll be really interesting. But in the past, you know, the United States has been paired up with England. We famously played Iran back in the day, I think in France. And, you know, when the U.S., when we had the World Cup here in '94, the U.S. advanced, I think, to the round of 16. We lost to Brazil famously on the 4th of July. So this is a big deal. And I think, I know this is just the start of it, but, when you see world leaders showing up, it's a big deal.
Since we're two of the older guys here at Fox 5, let's go back to 1994, because that was a huge deal. Actually, last night on the Live Zone Primetime, I got to talk to the former U.S. president, the president of U.S. Soccer, who oversaw not only the draw, but the World Cup, which ended up being the most successful World Cup ever. But one of the major changes that he instituted was making the draw a must-see event. It was in Las Vegas. Robin Williams was on stage with Sepp Blatter. Blatter, T-T-E-R, because that was one of the jokes that apparently Robin Williams kept making. And they really turned it into a spectacle. And it appears that President Trump really took a page out of that playbook, because we are talking stars like Kevin Hart, Danny Ramirez, Heidi Klum hosting today's event, plus Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, Wayne Gretzky, and Aaron Judge serving as a sort of representation of some of America's major sports. And this crossover event, they're going to be draw assistants as well. Yeah,
so what's really fascinating to me is we're watching the president here talking. He's talking to foreign press. So, in our country, we're all talking about soccer, and some of us are excited, and some of us are like, I like baseball or whatever. But the rest of the world, all they care about is soccer. Right. So this is a must-watch for them. I'm sure across the globe right now, everybody is, pinned to their TV and their social media waiting to find out who their teams are paired up with. And it's a really big deal. The other point I want to make is, and I've been hearing from our viewers all day, we have all kinds of celebrities that I'm not familiar with, famous coaches and players from other countries that are here to be involved in the draw, to be involved in the spectacle. And, you can be from Ecuador or Colombia or one of these smaller countries, and some of your biggest celebrities, some of your biggest soccer heroes are here today. So it's really for the world stage.
Yeah. Joey, are we able to hear President Trump again? Let's take a live look full back in that and see if we can hear anything.
Have a good time.
Mr. President, the U.S. press.
Thank you, everybody, very much. It's a great honor. This has been an honor for a lot of reasons. Number one, they've sold more tickets than any event has ever sold already, long before the kickoff. And number two, we've done a lot of work at the Kennedy Center. It was falling apart, and now it's pretty much back, and we'll get it back within the next 4 or 5 months through construction. But you see the way it looks, and Johnny's just telling me, who's done an incredible job, by the way. He's just telling how good a job we've done. You can look at the walls. The marble was broken. Everything was a mess, and we've really taken the Kennedy. So a lot of people thought it was going to be ripped down, and we did just the opposite. So we've done a really great renovation job on it, and over the next 3 or 4 months it'll be complete, and we're honored to have it here. And it's been very special. We've set a record on ticket sales, as you probably heard already, even long before the event itself. And we're working with Canada, and we're working with Mexico, and it's been a really spectacular. So far, it's been spectacular. Daniel, do you have a question?
What are your expectations? You once said that the FIFA World Cup was an opportunity to put, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to put the greatness of the United States on display. Well, 1 billion eyeballs to be watching, Mr. President.
Yeah, I think even today I understand. I hear that, I know we're a little late to get in there, but it's okay.
They wait.
So are my friends. I guess they have to wait then.
Yeah, they wait.
But no, the numbers are incredible. I hear today's numbers are very big. I hope CNN is covering.
Today 1 billion eyeballs.
Today's numbers are very, very big.
You're expected to get the FIFA Peace Prize, Mr. President. What would you say to people who say that prize might conflict with your pledge to strike Venezuela?
Well, I think the Peace Prize, I settled 8 wars. I don't know that I'm getting it. I haven't been officially noticed. I've been hearing about a Peace Prize, and I'm here to represent our country in a different sense. But I can tell you I did settle 8 wars, and we have a 9th coming, which nobody's ever done before. But I want to really save lives. I don't need prizes. I need to save lives, and we're saving a lot of lives. I've saved millions and millions of lives, and that's really what I want to do. And I also want to run a great country. And the United States right now is the hottest country anywhere in the world, and 1 year ago it was dead. we had a dead country, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Mr. President, discuss Canada and Mexico, Mr. But what are you going to discuss with the leaders
Well,
of Canada?
we're going to meet with both, and we're getting along very well. You know, we're getting along very well. I don't know. I think we have a meeting set up for sometime after the event.
We should discuss trade.
Yeah, we'll discuss trade. We get along very well. Thank you, everybody, very much.
Will you pardon any other Honduran officials?
Do you want them to keep trying to indict Tish James?
Thank you, press. Let's go.
All the travel pool, we're going to go right behind this.
All right. And once again, there is that live look, one of the many angles we've been bringing you as President Trump just spoke with media at the FIFA World Cup draw, which is set to get underway here in just about 10 minutes time. And once again, I did want to remind you here that you can watch on Fox 1. If you open up your smartphone and you scan that QR code, you will be able to watch the draw set to start here in just about 10 minutes time. Thanks for being with us here in Live Now from Fox. We are going away for a final break of the hour here. Much more news to get. And welcome back to Live Now from Fox. We're continuing our FIFA World Cup draw coverage. We're going to take you out to Philadelphia right now with one of our Fox affiliates there. They are at a watch party. Let's bring this to you here now.
Philadelphia Soccer 2026, in 6 short months, we will be at the epicenter of the sporting world for the entire universe.
Boy, that's a fact.
We want you to know that Philadelphia will stand tall. We won this game because of you. It started because of you. Also, great corporate leadership, terrific leadership at the state level, at the local level. And it's my honor to introduce the Commonwealth's greatest sportsman, an individual who, as we started this venture...
All right, guys, listen.
Yes.
You got every mascot on board. You got the governor of the great state of Pennsylvania, and you got the real kickoff to next year's World Cup happening right here at Stateside Live. The other thing is it goes all the way to 2:30 this afternoon, and it's free. It means you still got time to get down here. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Give me 90 seconds. We'll be right back with more on coverage.
Pennsylvania and this great Philadelphia region, our great governor, John Shapiro. What's up,
I better find somebody real quick. We're not going to get the governor, I don't think.
To host the FIFA World Cup next year because we got the greatest...
There's an Argentine family over here that I have set up.
All right, so that is some of their coverage there that we wanted to share with you on Live Now from Fox. And I actually wanted to continue speaking On the FIFA World Cup draws, you're taking a live look there in Washington, D.C., in the nation's capital. That's where all of this is happening, and I wanted to head over to Fox's Rebecca Castor as she tells us more.
With less than 200 days to go until the FIFA World Cup heads to North America, teams will find out today the path they must follow to win it all.
The biggest FIFA World Cup ever all starts with the final draw.
And it all goes down at Washington's iconic Kennedy Center, where people from all around the world will be watching and waiting to see who their country will face off against.
This is what the World Cup is about. It's millions of people coming, billions of people watching, 7 million in the stadium.
This World Cup will be bigger than past tournaments, with 48 teams expanded from 32, competing in 104 games over 5 weeks. Today, as celebrities pull balls out of bowls, teams will be split into 12 groups of 4 for the opening stage and learn who their first 3 opponents will be.
There's going to be drama, there's going to be intrigue, there's going to be surprises. Some will be happy and some won't.
The group stage and following knockout round will take place in 16 cities across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, with 11 of those stadiums in the USA.
This is going to be a special moment, in my humble opinion, where everyone's going to be coming together to celebrate the beautiful game.
Hosting the World Cup is a point of pride for President Trump, who will be on stage for today's star-studded draw. Also participating, Kevin Hart, Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, Heidi Klum, and more. There will also be musical performances, including one of the president's favorite bands, the Village People.
The draw will be absolutely stunning, a big, big show. We are in America, we have to make a show.
FIFA will also hand out today its first ever Peace Prize, which they say will honor an individual's extraordinary actions to end conflicts around the world. At the Kennedy Center in Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
And thank you to Rebecca Castor there, as you are taking a live look there in Washington, D.C. And we've been saying here that we are bringing you these several live looks across the country from our affiliates. I did want to head over to one of those watch parties and listen in now.
Great time. I gotta say though, these people are loud. They are getting ready. They are rowdy. They want to hear all of the teams in the certain groups. So, you know, Paige and Jeff, it's really the place to be. I'm a little biased because I'm having fun here, but it's so great.
Yeah, Peyton May's like Team Italy, Team USA.
Yep.
One or the other. All right, folks, we are just minutes away from the start of the draw. Stick with us.
We'll be right
Much
back.
more.
All right. Well, we caught the tail end of that. Once again, this is live TV, and I just wanted to share with you my vantage point here as we're trying to bring you this live continuous coverage, all the feeds that we've got going on here. We were just sharing with you, well, actually, there's 2 feeds I want to share with you. So first, let's head over to this one as we're just getting this live look in here of President Trump as he is attending the FIFA World Cup draw, and we brought you here that continuous coverage of President Trump as he was arriving maybe just about 20 minutes or so ago at this point, as he was speaking to several media outlets there. And we brought you those comments. And so we're going to keep an eye on this here for you. If President Trump does speak again, of course, we're going to bring it to you. Now, I want to head back to another feed that we were just listening into. And this is our Philadelphia team as they are at a watch party. Let's listen in.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You all are here specifically. You got your Philadelphia FIFA jerseys on. What are you hoping to see today? It's a huge world, and everybody's got an aspect. Every nation plays. It's the biggest sport in the world.
Yes. So, I mean, the World Cup, everyone is watching. The entire world is watching. I'm excited to see the teams and who the matchups, who's going to be playing against who. Because in soccer, we call it football back home. In soccer, we want to see if there's going to be a group of death. Which teams will probably not make it because they're putting a team that is hard for them to play. I'm excited to see
I know, I can tell. I'm feeding off it. I love it. It's fun to see. It's fun to feel.
Yeah.
God bless you. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Have a great day. Guys, just feel it. You can feel it. Everybody's out here. This particular tournament doesn't even start until next year. And I wouldn't call it a fever pitch. Again, there's no game today. Watch. I'm only kidding. It's all right. Anytime you ask a kid, are you going to eat that, they look at you like, are you going to take it? Come on over here with me. I was honestly hoping to get a quick moment with the governor with us, guys, but I think that the kickoff might have gone a couple of minutes behind, and he had to get over here and get it started. We've only got about a minute left in the show anyway. So Jen Fred is going to be coming up, guys, and if you do make it down here, and it is free, make sure to say hello to her. She's over she's over her, and she's going to be starting off pretty soon, at noon to be precise, and she's going to take you through the whole afternoon with help, guys. Come on down if you get a chance. It's a lot of fun. There's a ton of people here, and it's gotten more and more crowded as time has gone by. Remember, Mexico, the United States, and Canada do not have to qualify. We're hosting a thing. We're already in. The problem is the United States is in Group D. And the teams that are going to be playing, the groups that are going to be playing here at the link are Group C, E, I, and L, which means we cannot play here in the first round, but we can meet here for an eliminator on July 4th of next year. I know I keep getting into that, but it blows my mind that such a game like that could happen, guys. Stick around for Jen Fred and have a lot of fun. Get on down here if you can. I'll see you next time.
All right, those are just some of the watch parties we've been bringing you here on Live Now from Fox. Now, in just about 10 minutes time here, we are also going to be bringing you a watch party coming out of Atlanta. I'm just looking at our schedule here. So Atlanta, and then around 12:45, also a watch party out of Washington, D.C. Once again, that's checking in with our Fox affiliates across the country as we do bring you all of these. In the meantime, I did want to just share some comments here from Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy as he was speaking on the FIFA World Cup in Washington, D.C. just yesterday as we do await those live looks.
How great is this? We have Kobe here emceeing our event. He is a legend, a National Soccer Hall of Famer, a three-time World Cup player, Fox Sports analyst. So Kobe, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this for us. Again, bringing so much energy in a week of great soccer energy with the FIFA draw tomorrow. So we are truly grateful for that. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Welcome to DOT. Thank you all for coming. Listen, we are excited. Tomorrow is going to be a great day at the Kennedy Center. President Trump is going to be there. Thousands of people are going to be in attendance. But around the world, 1 billion people are going to tune in to watch the draw at the Kennedy Center. So we're excited that we're kicking the event off today here at DOT. We're excited about FIFA. The president is excited about FIFA because it's a great sporting event, but it's going to come to America on our 250th anniversary. And again, in America, we love sports. We love to celebrate our birthdays. So to combine those two things together is going to be absolutely fantastic. On top of that, at the White House, we're going to have the first ever UFC fight as well. So it's going to be a great celebration of America's 250th birthday. As we look to these games, right, we're going to have 6 million people that are going to come into the United States to watch these games. So I've talked with State, I've talked with Homeland. We've partnered together. The president has given this directive. If you're watching around the world, we're going to make travel seamless for you as you come into the country. We're going to make it as easy as possible so you can come in and enjoy the great World Cup event that's going to go off. Some people have wondered, well, we're here at DOT. Why are we at DOT? What do you have to do with FIFA and the World Cup and soccer? I don't want to overstate it. But I think we may be more important than the coaches, the refs, maybe the players. I'm not sure. We have a big role in making sure that this event goes off really well. And so I just want to talk about that a little bit because people move throughout the country during the World Cup on planes, trains, and automobiles. And so first, we have the FAA. the FAA knows we're going to have a lot of international travel that comes into the country, and then as people get to the U.S., a lot of people are going to travel by airplane between the host cities. We are clearing the skies, clearing the decks, making sure air travel is going to be seamless. The FAA is already working on that. The one thing we can't control is the weather, so if we have weather issues that pop up, I don't have any control on that, but the FAA is working to make sure air travel goes incredibly well. Rail, we're prepping our tracks, making sure we have enough cars as fans go between host cities, making sure that our rail runs on time, our rail is safe. All that work is happening right now as we prep for a massive number of fans coming into the country.
And once again, we just want to bring you some comments there from
Jake. We got to talk about you. You had a really big interview.
Yeah, you know, wait, before we get too excited, guys, throwing back to
we don't have it, so you got to describe.
Not online yet.
You know what? Before we get to this, then talk about your live shot this morning because you were on set.
We've had some cool live shots,
right?
like what was it? 2 days ago, I was out live at the Richardson Tree Farm, which you guys, and
is that like by the Wisconsin border?
Yes, okay. Yeah, near the Cheddar Curtain, as Mike Kaplan would say. And just because we just had that big snowfall over the weekend, it looked magical, like a freaking Hallmark movie out there. It was unreal. It was absolutely gorgeous. And then yesterday, we went out pretty far west to a reindeer farm where, whenever there's like a Christmas event happening around Chicago and there happen to be reindeer there, like where are they? Obviously Santa keeps them busy on Christmas Eve, but where are they housed the other 364 days of the year? It's at this ranch.
Okay.
We had a blast out there. And then earlier today, we were live out at the Goodman. And they actually not only opened their doors for us, but turned on the lights, let us go on set, on the stage, poking around the production of A Christmas Carol. It's the 48th annual production of A Christmas Carol. But just those sets, because so often you guys have been in the theater before. You just have to look good enough for someone sitting 30 feet away.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get up close and you go, oh, this is okay, all right. With the lights and everything. But their sets, their production was just so unreal, and I was so grateful. They got a whole team. It's a big deal. Particularly in a union theater, for them to come in bright and early and turn on all the lights and everything and be able to get to see it and to get to do that was really special.
Well, I only caught a glimpse, but even the books on the desk say, or like all the little knickknacks.
Yeah,
are they
I was kind of flipping through. There's like a ledger, like Scrooge's ledger, that has like a bunch of, and I would have thought that it would have been scribbles, and it's signatures. It's everything down. Stacks of papers. Really, just the top one needs to be a thing. The rest of them, in theory, could be blank, and you never know. And I kind of flipped through them, and they're like every page is a different thing. There's so many details on the set that the people in the audience would never know. And to me, that's the difference between a great production and a lesser production, I guess.
I love that.
Interesting.
So you had this interview.
Yeah.
That we can't show, but you need to tease up to.
Here's the deal. So as you guys know, Extra, which we air on our sister station, WPWR, it just entered its 32nd season, and they got a new host. Billy Bush was the host for a long time, but now they have Dancing with the Stars alum Derek Huff, who was in our area. He was out in Wheeling. I think he's going to be there over the weekend for this big dancing event that's taking place. But while he was here, we wanted to kind of just touch base on kind of being thrown into this new world that he's in. Because if you think about it, he's been, when it comes to entertainment reporting, on the other side of the aisle, right? Like he's the one used to having the microphone shoved in his face and being asked, the tough questions. And now he is sort of experiencing and sort of getting a little taste of what it's like being on this side. And so they've really revamped Extra this season and given it a new look and a new feel and a new vibe. I'm honestly honored that Fox 32's been a part of it quite a few times. They reach out to us and use our work. We just did an interview with Sydney Sweeney that's going to be a part of Extra in the coming days, which is exciting. But yeah, I had the chance to just sit down with them and just kind of check in. It's been 3 months, like when a president, was it the first 100 days when you're a president?
Or a mayor.
Or a mayor, you do the check-in just to kind of say, hey, everything good, So we almost did like the first 100 days for Derek Huff as the host of Extra, just to sort of check in and see how it's going. And whenever you get to see it, and we got it. Now's the time. You get to see it. Take a look.
No, I was just talking about how great of a job you're doing on Extra. And it's interesting to think, obviously, long before you hosted the show, you had years of experiences being on the other side, being interviewed by entertainment reporters. So I'd love to know, what is something that you would be annoyed by when it comes to those shows and entertainment reporters that you sort of now can sort of right the wrong and say, you know what? That drove me nuts. I'm not doing that thing.
Well, it's not even just that. I have a lot more compassion and empathy for ones who might have asked certain questions. I'm like, why did they ask that question? Because a good example, actually, I was at the Emmy Awards, and we were trying to do this fun little bit, and my producer was like, hey, ask him this question, and I asked him, and the guy looked at me like, what are you talking about, man? And I looked at my guy, I was like, he goes, that was on me, man, that was on me. So I have a lot more empathy and compassion for that job, that role, because one, you got to stay engaged, you got to be, be interesting, and you might say something that, it doesn't quite come out right, or whatever it might be. But I guess for me, the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to pry. You know what I mean? I'm just not that's just not my character. That's not who I am.
And that's also not Extra. That's not really Extra's.
No, Extra isn't. We're not like a get you show. You know, we're sort of like a celebratory. Like, let's just say what's going on. Let's be matter of fact. And for me, I want to be playful and fun. So a lot of my segments that I do are like, let's go on the golf cart and talk and hang out and chat.
Which is my favorite news segment, by the way, which is fantastic.
It's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited too. Again, this past 3 months, when I've started Extra, it also just happened to be, Dancing with the Stars, just a little show that we have, and then it has.
It's the small. It's nice to support the small shows, right?
It didn't do too bad this past year. It's crazy, man. And then of course, the holiday. The falls for me are always very, very jam-packed, especially when you have people like Val Schmikovsky, who what's up?
Oh,
how is it? Wait, I didn't even know you were
crazy
here.
timing.
Just walking around Chicago.
How you doing, man? Good to see you. How are you?
Just a champ right here.
Is that the power you have whenever you name people that they just happen
to appear?
And then they appear. It's a beautiful thing, man.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, he had such an incredible season. He's just honestly one of the greatest to do it on the show. I think his track record, but also just his teaching ability and what he does is fantastic. And it's been cool to be on this journey with him and Mark and so many dancers on Dancing with the Stars. People forget, some new fans forget, I've known Val since I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, we've all grown up together. So it's pretty cool that we all get to sort of have these amazing careers in dance and to showcase dance in a beautiful way, and then to continue to work together in different ways, like what we're doing here with Ovation in Chicago. So it's pretty cool.
It's unreal. So I have a confession to make. My girlfriend has recently gotten me into a show called Secret Life of Mormon Wives.
Sure. Yeah.
Which I'd never seen before she and I started dating.
Okay,
and there was a plot point that's all about how one of them gets to be on Dancing with the Stars and how it was almost competitive, which made me start thinking, God, they probably get asked all the time to be on the show. Do you have an example of someone stopping you on the street going, I could be on Dancing with the Stars? How often do you get pitched?
By the way, Alfonso Ribeiro for years would come up and be like, yo, hey, love to be on Dancing with the Stars, man.
I mean, which is a pretty slam dunk kind of.
No, and for me, I was always like, why have they not? Why has he not been on the show yet? But he would ever see him, he's like, hey, just, will you tell, I would love to do the show.
Yeah. And
of course, when he did, it was like, duh, of course, he's amazing. And now he's one of the best hosts ever. He's fantastic. So he's part of that Dance with the Stars DNA.
Are you saying if someone sees you in public, shoot your shot? Because it worked out for all.
Dude, I did something with Savannah Bananas recently. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I went and performed. I just DM'd one of the guys, met with Jesse, and I said, hey man, first of all, I love what you guys do. And he was so cool. He was so cool because he was like, I don't know if you know this, but dance was the thing that changed the Savannah Bananas forever. It was dance. And for me, being a kid that was bullied as a kid, beaten up for being a dancer, but now all of a sudden, dance was the thing that created this amazing sport. Not created, but helped it thrive. And I'm telling you right now, there was a lot of players who were like, hey, Derek, Dancing with the Stars? Hey, I would love to be on it, hey. And honestly, I was like, you would be great.
There's an interesting, if they could figure out a way to have the team as one contestant, that could be a really interesting.
There's some, I have some ideas with that. I think there's some fun possibilities with that.
We're tapping into something, I can tell.
I think so.
I won't spend too much time on this, but just thinking about, you being bullied for loving dance as a kid. Have you ever ran into any of the people that did that back in the day?
No, and if I ever did, I would give them the biggest hug in the world because
you're a classier man than I am.
No, because honestly, you only really hurt somebody if you're if you like are happy with who you are and what you're going through, you're only gonna give love. You're only gonna share love.
Hurt people hurt people.
Kind of, yeah. Doesn't make it okay.
Sure.
But it makes you can understand. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can have some compassion.
Yeah.
So by the way, that's the thing for me. This dance, sort of, I don't know, just this moment that dance has been having really for 20 years. Really, Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance. These dance shows have really brought dance into this forefront, and it's right when we think like, okay, we're kind of coming out of that era a little bit. It's like, nope, never mind.
Look at this year.
And then with TikTok and social media, and that's what this event that we're putting on right now, Ovation, is all about. We've had such an amazing opportunity to perform, to be on television, to do all these amazing things, but we want to get off the screen and into the rooms with these young dancers, and to mentor them, to teach them, to encourage them, and just to give them, show them a good time and dance, and to inspire them.
I love that.
And that's what this is all about. So we're excited about it.
It was one thing to see it on a screen, but to see it because I saw the stage is a completely different game. I got to tell you, you've done such a great job with like all the celebrity interviews, because I know the junkets can be kind of grueling, because you get 8 minutes, and how do you make the most out of that time? It's a weird art form.
That was the weirdest. Like for me, that was one of the biggest growing pains when not growing pains. Like for me, that was one of the weirdest things.
Yeah.
My first press junket.
Yeah.
Walking in, I feel like it was my first day of school, and like, I see all the people that have interviewed me before, and I'm like, hey guys, what's up? And I'm like sitting in the chair waiting my turn, and I'm like, and you go in there, and it's just like, you have 2 seconds. And then,
there's a guy in the corner giving you the floor.
And I'm like, why does this guy keep giving me this? I'm like, I got more questions, my guy. But it's been cool because I was fortunate to start with Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie as my first 2 people I interviewed ever.
Small little independent names, of people.
And they were so gracious, they were so kind. And then The Rock, we never met before, but we had texted before, and we've sent each other videos in the past, and he's been so nice and so encouraging to me. Just saying he loves the dancing, loves the performances, all these great things. So when I saw him in person, it was like, what's up, man?
That's wild.
It was a cool moment.
Is there a name? Because I think sometimes we all think that every famous person knows every other famous person, and sometimes we forget that someone will say, "Yeah, I've never met that person before I did this project with them." Is there a person you've never met that you think, while I'm at Extra, I've got to sit across from them because I've got some questions for them?
Oh man, I don't know. It's funny. Dang. Off the top of my head, no, but I have 1,000.
I'm sure.
What I'm saying?
I'm thinking of you.
I have 1,000. I just, on the top of my head, I can't think of it right now.
You and Travolta would be great. I don't know if you've done stuff you and Travolta would be. I'm thinking of the actors who have such a great history with dance.
You know what's interesting? The dancer. Wait, Mark Ballas.
Oh,
what are you doing here, man? Mark Ballas is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, you say a name and they're there.
They're there. I don't know. It's funny because the names that I would think I would want.
Sure.
It honestly would be the ones that I wouldn't even expect.
Sure.
I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then I do it. I'm like, that was amazing. I love that.
Like you and Daniel Day-Lewis would be amazing.
Oh jeez, I don't know.
I'm speaking it into existence.
I would be intimidated by that one.
Come on.
I'd be like, so let's talk about the craft.
Yeah. I'd watch that interview.
Yeah, I was like, let's dive in, shall we?
You got to stroke the chin while you do it. You got to do that. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's the thing. To be honest with you, I'm happy to go deep. I'm happy to go into it because as for me being a choreographer, being a choreographer is like being a director.
Sure.
And I direct as well. So it's talking in those terms, even from camera lenses to shots and to into storyline, all those different types of things I love to go into. But also, I'm also like to keep it light and keep it fun. Because I know for me, it's that's just kind of my personality.
Well, and that's sort of the balance is you can have a great time and bring stuff out of people, but if you don't know your stuff, then it's just all empty. It's all hollow.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's times when I had not seen the film. I did not see the film, and I was interviewing, and I was and still, it was a great interview. But then seeing the film and doing the interview was like, oh, this is so much better.
Yeah, it does change. But,
so much better.
Listen, I do junkets all the time. Sometimes you can't.
No, you literally can't see it. And there's no time.
Or even sometimes they won't show it. Sometimes if it's a Marvel movie, they're like, oh, you can do it without. You know, if it's the end game or whatever, they're like.
But it's funny. I did an interview where I was like, I asked some questions, and afterwards I was like, I went and saw the film, and I went, oh. I was way off. I was talking about like this.
This movie's
emotion.
in black and white. Oh no!
I was like, wow, and this, and then and now I go back to like their faces, and they probably were like, this dude did not see the movie, did he?
You know what? They're actors, man. They can fake it well.
Hey, man.
I got to cut you loose. I've always, just as a movie fan, I'd love to get your perspective on this. What is the greatest movie dance scene of all time?
Greatest movie dance scene? Oof, that's a hard one, honestly. We're going back. It's got to be in the golden age. You know what I mean? Without a doubt. Oh my gosh. Obviously.
Are you in like Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers kind of? Oh wow.
Top Hat, Singing in the Rain, White Christmas. Oh my gosh.
These are great ones.
What's the other one that I love? It's it's my tongue. I love it. It's the warehouse scene with Gene Kelly.
Oh, I know. Oh,
it's a Bandwagon.
Yeah.
Is that the right one? Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But anything from that era, slam dunk.
Sure.
Like slam dunk, and it gets better with time.
Yeah.
That's what's so fantastic is any dance film now really are just trying to replicate the magic from that time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can. Like, you know what I mean? There's something just special about that moment in that time. With that said, there's some fun projects on the possible horizon to do some sort of homages and honor some of these films.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
I love back then when necessity was the mother of invention, and they had to do a lot of that stuff kind of on their own. And
there's something about taking the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Taking the time to do something. Now, there's budget. There's this. There's that.
Yeah.
I did this rotating routine, which was inspired, from when I saw Fred Astaire do it. I had to do that in 3 days, and then we did it live.
Oh.
He had 3.5 months.
Yeah.
To like play with it and experiment with it. So the time they took on certain things, it just you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it. You know what I mean?
And everything's got to be now. To your point, 3.5 days.
It's
That's
really
nuts,
special.
man.
It's really special.
Derek, I know you're super busy, man. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you,
Seriously,
Matt.
you're a rock. Congratulations on
Appreciate
everything,
you,
man. Seriously, thank you.
Hey, nice interview, Jake.
Hey, thank you. So we want to thank Derek. You could see him on Extra when he's not on every other show on television, dancing away on the network. Yeah, exactly. We're not going to mention the dancing show that he does too much because it's on another network.
Yeah,
exactly. But Extra, he does a great job.
And you did a great job.
Oh, keep going.
As always.
Oh, keep going. You guys do a great job.
Thank you, Jake.
Love you guys.
All right, well, stay with us. We love you back. We're talking Chat GPT and AI right after this break.
it feels like it's been 20 years since we first heard about ChatGPT and explored it, but it's actually just turned 3 and it's come a long way since then. We know that. We're taking a look at how it has changed since then and what could happen in the future with Mr. Mike Bennett, Associate Vice Chancellor for Data Science and Artificial Intelligence Strategy at UIC. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, so let's talk about this big birthday that it just had on Sunday, you said. It seems like it's been around forever.
It does.
You know, it's really taken over our lives, I feel.
It's hard to think of any other topic that we've talked about so much for such a long period of time, especially a topic that is so arcane and technologically sophisticated. It's pretty miraculous. Everyone talks about it. I hear people talking about it on public transportation. Of course, at UIC, it's all we talk about. Business, government, it's everywhere, and it has been for 3 solid years.
You know what I find very interesting is I know it's 3 years old and it feels like it's been here for a very long time, but there are some people that are still a little apprehensive about ChatGPT. Talk about how it's really influenced our everyday lives and pop culture.
It's such a huge phenomena, in part, I believe, because we've been hearing stories about artificial intelligence for literally a century. So the first pop cultural depiction of it, in other words, was probably Metropolis, Fritz Lang's movie. So Weimar Germany, 1920s. And you had an artificially intelligent being, a synthetic being, that was involved with an uprising in Germany. And ever since then, we've had, whether they're stories in film or in books or radio productions, cartoons, we've been hearing about. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, Jetsons. That's who it was, the Jetsons.
There we are. Ever since that first movie, and probably some things earlier than that, but certainly that big one in the 1920s, we've continuously been exposed to ideas about artificial beings, synthetic minds, artificial intelligence, and now that we are finally, as a culture, as a society, starting to get a glimpse at what that actually looks like practically, it's a situation in which, quite literally, we've seen this movie before.
You know, I feel like it's a Wild West, guys. I typically, honestly, don't use it much in my own day-to-day life. My husband uses it quite a bit sometimes. No flack on anyone who uses it for schooling, during education too, trying to study and such. Is it as crazy as maybe it seems in my head than it really is, or is there more of a structure than I'm aware of?
It's Wild West-y in the sense that there's still very few guardrails for individuals who are non-experts to turn to figure out what the best ways are to use, and importantly, to not use this technology. It's Wild West-y in the United States, at least, because we still don't have very many formal pieces of regulation to help guide the technology's use and development. Interestingly enough, at the beginning of January 2026, we will have a new state law taking effect here in Illinois that'll involve, it's designed to help govern AI applications in the context of employment decisions. But you could count on 2 hands the number of really significant laws across the country that are in place designed to help us make good decisions about use.
What are the concerns there? I know Gabby was saying she doesn't really use it much. I guess you're a little apprehensive maybe about what you feed it. What are some of the concerns, and are those concerns valid?
There are a range of concerns. It's a fascinating situation. You could pick almost any hot topic that, say, in this country, in the United States, that we've been arguing about, debating over the last 50 years. And you can see how it's indexed against artificial intelligence. In one way or another, the technology is being used as a kind of proxy for many debates. So whether that's concerns with the way that the children are exploited in various circumstances, or concerns with maintaining ownership over creative works that we create. You can look across many more domains as well, but there's certain concerns that are, in my opinion, endemic to the technology, intrinsic in it, that are much more about AI itself rather than the way that it can be linked up to these pre-existing issues. So many people, especially in our region, right in the Great Lakes area, many people are concerned with the amount of natural resources that they're learning these technologies require in order to operate effectively. There are hundreds of data centers in our area now. And I'm speaking broadly, right? The Great Lakes, not necessarily right down Michigan Avenue, but within a radius of, say, 100 miles where we are now, there are hundreds of data centers. And this has got a large and growing number of people concerned about the demands on water, right? We've got this huge body of water here, one of the largest freshwater bodies on the planet. And it's one of the reasons that many companies are interested in having larger AI infrastructure in place so they can take advantage of that. But if you expand to a global scale, there's also a lot of concern about the rare earth mineral extraction that's required to even build the chips before you even get to running the technology. And so many people are, especially folks, again, who had pre-existing concerns with environmental catastrophe and ecological conditions, they're worried that AI, even though it's not in many of the more rational takes on this, in my opinion, it's not the main driving force there, but it's exacerbating a pre-existing problem. So folks are worried about those types of things. People are also worried about their jobs. They feel that if half the stories that are told about how effective this technology is at doing work that only humans have been doing for decades, then they perhaps need to wonder what their role will be when the technology is widely distributed.
I think about 2026, midterm elections coming up. We know that played, a factor here in this last election, it being even more advanced, maybe, people using it more. How might that play into things when it comes to the midterms? What should we expect?
I'm anticipating at least two ways that artificial intelligence, and I'm really specifically talking about generative AI. So when I say AI, I'm really meaning generative AI. But I'm thinking about two ways that AI and politics will probably, high probability, likelihood, I'm saying here, of an interaction between them in 2026 around the midterm elections specifically. So one will be very likely electorate candidates, folks who are running for office, turning to AI controversies and using those to sway potential voters. So expressing their understanding of how important it is for one or another community to really understand what it means to incorporate AI, whether again it's environmental or some kind of political question. I think these politicians will be using that kind of concern that they know is out there to resonate with voters. And then another way, probably as important, if not more so, will be campaigns and individuals and organizations that are adjacent to campaigns that want one result or another, using AI to build more and more sophisticated info for consumption by voters, again, to try and sway voters.
When we look at AI now, we already think that it's pretty advanced. What's coming up next in the world of AI that maybe we don't even know about yet?
The models that make it possible for any of us to go to our preferred GPT model and pose questions to it and get responses, outputs from it. Those models are getting more and more sophisticated by the day. It's one of the reasons that whether you're using a Google option, Gemini, or OpenAI's ChatGPT, whatever version we're up to now, you are on a regular basis hearing from these companies saying that a new and slightly different and oftentimes more advanced version is now available and that it's there for you to use. You should expect to see more of this, a continued pace, maybe even a quickened pace. You should also expect to see the AI models becoming more available on mobile devices in very sophisticated forms, whether those be our phones, they're already there, but imagine an even more muscular version of them, or eyeglasses, or even pieces that you might pin on, like this lovely UIC pin that I'm wearing.
But that's not AI.
It is not yet.
Okay, there we go. I'm curious to know, there at UIC, is there a lot of enrollment of people wanting to get into artificial intelligence strategy, get into this AI world since it is booming right now? I mean, what does the future look like here in 10 years? Do you still expect to see this major growth? And is it a good time maybe for people to suggest their children to get into this career field?
Folks at UIC across the board, from students to faculty and staff, all the way up to leadership, are super excited about generative artificial intelligence, both in terms of the wide range of questions that the technology presents to us, but then also all of us are interested in using the technology to make the educational products that we provide more effective, more useful, and dare I say even more fun for learners. And so there's an incredible amount of excitement. We've got a range of strategic partners that we're working with, all of the larger AI companies, but then also some government units that are super interested in taking advantage of the expertise that UIC has to offer.
Sounds like we need to enroll in some
classes. That's what I'm thinking right now.
We're gonna get left behind.
Wait a second, I have something to catch up on right now.
Honestly, and real quick before we let you go, is that an option? Can people take just a course to learn more about AI?
This is one of the most exciting things about 2026 at our campus, also at others, but of course I'm gonna say the most about what we're offering. So UIC will be offering courses, certainly for our students, a whole range of them, building on the courses that are already in place, and we do have plans to offer courses for the good people of Chicagoland.
Yeah, we need to sign up, Gabby. Don't forget when those classes come out. All right.
Mike Bennett, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
For breaking it down, because this is, complicated somewhat to know the backstory and what's to come with AI, ChatGPT. 3 years. Like I said, it's felt like 30.
Incredible.
All right, well, coming up, we are talking all things about humans. We're talking skin, and we're talking with Dr. Dennis Gross right after this break. Now, I must admit that I am fangirling a little bit because I am next to Dr. Dennis Gross. You've seen his products in Sephora. I mean, they're just about everywhere. I watch a lot of YouTube tutorials and they're using your products.
TikTok trends, everything. You always see these
I am so happy that you're here to talk about really some of the myths. I think that's a good place to start because it's the winter time. We've heard things like, for example, in the winter time, exfoliating can dry out your skin. Is that true?
Well, you know what? Exfoliation is actually a good thing as long as it's gentle, right? So here's what happens, right? It is now, I think, 7 degrees out there. And
Or less.
Yeah, or less. That's a warm day.
That's
it's
generous.
7. Yeah. So what happens is that you have dead skin on your surface. Then you put on a moisturizer. The moisturizer is taken up by the dead skin and doesn't get to go down where you need it to hydrate your skin. So yes, exfoliation's a great idea, but you got to do it gently. Like if you do a harsh scrub, that's going to strip your skin. But if you do it gently, then your moisturizers can work even better. So, for example, this product here is the gentle version of the alpha beta peel. It's a 2-step method that you do at home.
Okay.
Comes from what doctors like myself do in the practice, but you do it at home. Gently removes the dead skin, lets your moisturizers and all your serums and all those goodies do great things to your skin. And then it has ingredients that builds back your moisture barrier. So gentle exfoliation during the winter, definitely.
So that's one of your more popular products, guys. I see it all over online.
Yeah.
You know, as someone, you know, a news anchor, news reporter,
Sure.
we're on TV, I'm always scared of downtime with these.
Right.
But it seems like your daily peel, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need downtime.
That's the key to the whole product. That's why it's so popular. It's a 2-step method, right? You come into the dermatology office, you get step 1, it's the acid step, you wait a few minutes, you put on step 2, shuts off the acids. That's what you're doing at home, right? That's so different than a 1-step exfoliating harsh treatment. That I don't recommend during the wintertime, but a nice method, 2 steps, now you got great results and no downtime.
You know, we hear a lot about when you're reaching for products in the winter, you know, get the thick stuff.
Right.
Is that true? I mean, is it good to go for the thick stuff in the winter?
You know what? It's your choice. It's not so much whether it's thick or it's thin, right? It's the ingredients. So one of the key things right now is hyaluronic acid and peptides. Those are the key ingredients to look for, and that's what we do. We give you hyaluronic acid and peptides, and you want to put it in a product that's a lightweight moisturizing serum or a heavy, thicker cream if that's what you fancy, all good. But hyaluronic acid, you know, it's a phenomenal ingredient to understand the science. It holds 1,000 times its weight in water in your skin, right? And it doesn't clog your pores, doesn't cause breakouts, which is really important.
Very
Sometimes
important.
thick creams can do that, right? So what I have done differently, this is a microcellular delivery system, fancy term, scientific term for the fact that there's not just hyaluronic acid, but different sizes of hyaluronic acid that go through the different layers of the skin to plump your skin from within, hydrate from within, and gives you the moisturizing on top. So the science is really innovative and very, very elegant. Yeah.
I love
nice
all
and
the
thin, lightweight.
smells.
So are you saying that this one would be better for maybe the winter time?
It's absolutely up to you. This one and it has and this one, they're both the same technology, same ingredients. Some people like a thicker product. If that's you, you can use this one. It's the hyaluronic acid, it's the peptides that makes the difference. It's not so your personal preference. It's not how thick or thin the product is, it's what's in it. And the hyaluronic acid, multiple molecular weights. That little bit of science is the key thing to know. You want it to go through all layers of your skin, plump your skin, get that super hydration, moisturize from within and over. And that's what this does.
You know what? You explained it so well because all that kind of scientific stuff would just go right over my head.
Yeah.
But you know what? You saying it goes through that makes sense.
I have to ask
So
you this. As a woman who wears, and I'm sure Gabby can relate, a lot of makeup, right?
Too much.
We always hear and have always heard, never sleep in that makeup.
So true.
What happens to people when they sleep in their makeup?
Okay, your skin can't breathe. Your pores get clogged. Your makeup absorbs the oil your skin naturally makes to continue to keep your skin in balance. It's really challenged, especially during the colder weather. Makeup is not the way to go to sleep. You want to get rid of it, and then you'll have clearer skin in the morning. And then the healthier your skin is, the better that makeup's going to sit on your skin. The more natural you're going to look. The healthy skin is great. Your makeup should add to it. It shouldn't cover up. Right? You want that working for you. So yeah, let's get rid of it.
So the extra 5 minutes to wash off your face, it's
Please.
way worth
It's
it.
worth it.
I want to ask about the LED masks because some people are saying now that it's a fad, that they work, they're great, or they don't work. Yours is a little different. Yours has stood the test of time because people are still talking about it. As Tia and I said, it might be on our Christmas list as well.
And it gets around the nose. A lot of them that I've seen, the light doesn't go around the nose. That's
so
huge.
true. You're 100% right. And so look, LED right now is really hot. And the fact is, LED is the real deal. It is science that has been, listen, this started with the space program. It was pioneered by NASA. And then dermatologists like myself in New York started doing it on patients. Now you can do it at home. What this does is it builds your collagen. It builds the fiber in your skin that gives your skin that thickness, and it helps get rid of the fine lines and wrinkles and the laxity and the grooves and the jowls. Lifts all that stuff. It's all about collagen. So LED red light gets in the skin, brings back your collagen, which you lose because of sun from years ago, because of free radicals, because you're starting to resemble how your mom aged, and you're seeing that start to happen to you. Get with it, but you can do it at home. And this took me 3 years to develop. And the key thing to this, if you're going to do LED, you got to be consistent. So 3 minutes a day is all it takes. Takes 3 minutes.
Just 3 minutes.
That's the whole deal. It saturates your receptors. That's what this does. Gets you the results, and then you're done. Now, some people have kids at home, or they themselves have congested pores and some complexion problems. Their LED blue light, which is built into this as well, kills the bacteria, and then it starts to help clear your complexion, right? And if you want to do both, you can hit this button on this unit 3 times, get your complexion treated and the LED red light to firm your skin, both at the same time, all in just 3 minutes. So lots of times they'll get this for the household. The moms and the dads use it to look younger, and the younger teenagers use it and grab it to clear up their skin.
Well, what's interesting about yours is I've watched a lot of reviews on this, because she's not kidding. It was on my to-do, my Christmas list. And yours has had the best reviews by a lot of these influencers out there. And specifically, people were talking about that nose area.
You're 100%
because it's often left out.
It is left out. And this is something that it hugs your skin, and then your hands are free. You have the charged glass, at least 10 treatments. There's no battery pack that you need to use. And you start to see results pretty quickly, but the longer you use it, the more profound the results. This is an FDA cleared device, right? Now, you're going to start to see things online like, oh, red light, get this, and it's really inexpensive. That's the same thing as the red lights on Christmas trees, right? That's not LED.
The TikTok shop red light might not be the same thing.
That's not FDA cleared. That is not a bona fide, scientifically proven medical device. So look for FDA cleared. By the way, on the box, that even the photos we show, those are real people. Those are real before and after results.
Not AI generated, which is important because a lot of people aren't starting to do that kind of stuff.
FDA cleared. Look for that.
You know what? I'm almost embarrassed having you be this close to me and look at my skin a little bit too close. So I feel like a lot of people at home deal with the same thing. Hormonal acne, especially young women. Recently, TMI, I've been getting it almost on like my neck and jawline area where I've never had it before. Something like this and using it correctly, will that help?
100%. By the way, hormonal acne, the classic textbook discussion is around here, okay? But acne can start anywhere. The bottom line is the first step in acne formation is a clogged pore. It doesn't matter if it's T-zone acne, adult acne, product acne, hormonal acne. This product on your face for 3 minutes is going to kill the bacteria. The red light you should also use because, you want the collagen, but the red light also reduces inflammation, reduces the redness, which lots of times, and brings those
really painful ones.
And the bumpy guys, right? It brings those down. And then here's a really good tip. Take this unit, right? Turn it upside down, put your chin in the mouthpiece, and it becomes a neck device.
That's a great idea.
Right? Now, that's another 3 minutes though. Okay, but that's going to help with the hormonal acne right here, and might as well firm up your neck.
While you're there.
Of course.
Absolutely.
One
so
of the
use
first
the red
signs
and
of
the blue.
aging.
So that's a really important thing, but just trust me, the 3 minutes a day is so worth it because nothing works better for collagen and in a bona fide way. LED light.
But does it hurt having it on, like maybe, like I see women like reading while they're in bed and they have this on. Does it matter if you have it on a little bit longer? Does it help a little bit extra, or does it?
I got to tell you, when we developed this product, it took me 3 years. The 3 minutes a day, it's the other side of the coin. 3 minutes is all you need.
Okay.
And then you really get the results, and that's what the FDA clearance is all about.
So when you first walked in, I thought, oh, he's just here to see us. But that's not true. You actually have a huge event that's going on, a master class, if you will, over at the Sephora on Michigan Avenue today. Tell us about it, because people can come check you out.
Okay, it's tomorrow. There's one at 11, and another class starts at 3. We're going to talk for an hour. It's a town hall kind of vibe. I'll be talking about the aging process in skin, and this is an educational conversation we're having in more detail. We'll take questions. I can get more personal, and people can get a consultation. It's the Nordstrom store at Michigan Avenue tomorrow at 11 and 3.
Yep, there it is, right there on the car. Well, it's a whole lot more on the car. They may have got some of this wrong. But anyways, that's where you will be.
I'm going to be there. Happy to be there. Love in Chicago.
And we're happy that you're here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right, stay with us right here on Chicago Now. We'll be right back. Friday, and maybe you're already thinking about your weekend plans. This is a must-see. That is what I will say. I've already put it on my to-do list. Much Ado About Nothing. The Chicago Shakespeare Theater is now playing what they're calling Shakespeare's wittiest romantic comedy. You can see it now through December 21st. And joining me, I have the pleasure of being with Mark Bedard and Deborah Hay. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Now let's start here. What is your role in all of this?
I play Benedict, who is very much the maybe even lifelong enemy of Beatrice. This is very much an enemies to lovers story. I'd say it's the original enemies to lovers tale, romantic comedy in that sense.
Yes.
Tell me, what is it like being on that stage, and what has the reception been here in Chicago?
It's been wonderful. It's one of Shakespeare's wittiest comedies, and the audiences have eaten it up. There is so much laughter and joy in the piece, and it's such a delight to share it with Chicago.
Maybe somebody's watching right now and they're like, you know what, I'm not really into Shakespeare, but I like things that make me laugh. I like, this is a time of year where, things can get a little hectic and you need a little joy in your life, right? Why would you say someone should come out and see this?
Well, it's set in Italy. On the Sicilian, on the island of Sicily, and so it's incredibly warm and inviting. It's kind of like taking a Mediterranean vacation, coming to see this piece. And with all of the joy and laughter in it, there is something for everyone.
Normally when you see a show, you just watch it. You can't, we're in an era now where I know sometimes people want to heckle or take a phone call and things like that. You shouldn't be doing that. But I did see that right there where it looks like you kind of get into the audience a bit.
We do. We not only get into the audience, as Deb was doing in that clip there, and stealing people's drinks and programs and cell phones and things like that, shamelessly, I might add, but we're also talking to the audience directly, much like they did in Shakespeare's original productions. They performed in daylight. The audience was right there. They did talk back and forth, and we sort of welcome that. We're talking straight at people, asking them questions, asking them to respond, and every show is a little different because of that.
Yeah. How does that make you feel, though? Because a lot of times when you've studied, the art of acting, that's not part of it. It's not like, you're now a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
So, like, how is that different for you to now be thrusted into that part of the role?
It's a little bit scary. It's scary for us, and you can see that it's also a little bit scary for the audience, but we do it with love and the desire to connect. So it's, I think people are really receptive to it, and it's fun.
Let me ask you, what has been the craziest situation? Because I'm guessing some of that is then ad-libbed, right? Like some of that experience is on the fly and it's ad-libbed. What has been the craziest thing that's happened so far? Was it grabbing that guy, the drink?
Well, just the other night, I was doing some banter with a guy in the front row who had a beard, and I make a beard joke. And then he started blowing me kisses and doing making his heart go like
looking for you.
But it fully cracked me up. We kind of went off track there, but it was a fun interaction. That was up there for me. What about you?
Well, sometimes people just have a funny laugh, where someone will find a line funny just by themselves, and they'll laugh by themselves, and we'll just stop and look at them and be like, "What are you laughing at?" And the whole audience will erupt, and we'll just hold the show for a bit and just be in that moment.
Yeah.
It's very much live. We're in the age of artificial intelligence and video clips, and you can't tell what's live anymore. And this is very much, we're in the room and we know this is authentic and live.
I love that, because I think that we need that kind of and it's a unique experience. Like everyone that goes to the shows, everyone's going to have a different story about what they experienced at the show, which I think is very interesting. Where are you guys from? How did you end up in these roles?
I'm from Canada,
Okay.
but I've worked at Chicago Shakespeare a couple of times. It's one of my favorite theaters to work at. It's one of the most beautiful theaters I've ever been in, and it's thrilling to come down here. It's mild here compared to where I live.
Know.
So.
I know that is the truth.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mark?
I moved here from New York a couple years ago, but I had worked at Chicago Shakes before I'd moved here. In fact, when I did All's Well That Ends Well here at Chicago Shakes, that was my introduction to Chicago, and I fell in love with it. My wife and I moved here a couple years ago, and I've done a couple shows.
Well, welcome home. We're happy that you chose Chicago to be your home. Okay, let me ask you this final question. And both of you will answer this separately. If someone's watching right now, and maybe they're like, okay, I'm buying it a little bit, why should they come to the show?
Me first.
You
sell it.
Because you will leave with laughter in your soul, whether you're a lifelong Shakespeare fan or you're brand new to Shakespeare. There's so many different elements of comedy and joy and love in the play that I guarantee you will laugh out loud.
I love that. And this is a 400-year-old story and play. So what makes it different this time? I'll ask you that as your question.
Well, we've already been doing the show for a couple weeks. There's only a couple weeks left, so you got to get your tickets. It's selling well. And in the couple weeks we've already been doing it, we're saying lines that were written over 400 years ago, and people are laughing. They're responding. So we're not doing anything extra to make people understand the text. I'd say it's one of the clearest Shakespeares I've ever done. So if you've ever had any hesitation about seeing Shakespeare or wondered, should I go see Shakespeare, I'd say see this production.
I love that even though it was from so long ago, it's still relevant today. I guess kind of like the Bible, right? I mean, I guess in some ways, right? All right, well, if you are watching, make sure you go get your tickets. Hey, thank you both for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, because I know it's cold. You said Canada is worse, which we know, but still cold. You have to travel to get here, and we know that wind can be fierce in Chicago. Thank you so much, and thank our audience so much for joining us throughout the week. Have a great weekend. I gotta say two things. Hopefully there's no Wolverines in the house. Go Buckeyes and go Bears. We'll see you next week. I'm an Ohio State grad. I had to do it.